Hello everyone, welcome to the Link YouTube channel where we're going to use NFPA LiNK to kind of talk about some technical topics. Today I want to talk about diesel fire pump inspections, so specific inspections to diesel driven fire pumps. And to do that, I am going to use a notebook that I built in NFPA LiNK. So I've got a notebook feature here. Notice I've got a whole bunch of notebooks on a bunch of different things. We're going to go specifically to my diesel fire pump inspection, testing, and maintenance notebook, and I've got a page right here on inspections. Now, what I did in this notebook is, again, we're not going to talk about all inspection requirements for a diesel fire pump. I just want to highlight two of the most common, most important inspections that we're going to be looking at. And that's going to be, you see that I have them annotated here on this image of table 8112. Now 8112, this comes out of NFPA 25, just a standard for the inspection, testing, and maintenance of water-based fire protection systems, chapter 8 covering fire pumps. Now this covers some of the inspection items. I have the two ones that I want to talk about here: the weekly inspections of the diesel engine system, and then the weekly pump house or pump room inspections. We're going to scroll down. I have some of the requirements here. We note here just a little way to read this table, right? So diesel engine systems, we've got a frequency weekly, and then we have a reference to 8224, and that is where the requirements are. So I actually have 822 here in this notebook, and I've highlighted some of the things that I want to talk about. The first thing is doing our pump house condition inspection. So with respect to the pump house, we want to make sure it's in the proper condition for that pump to be able to run. So we're looking to make sure that we've got proper heat in the space, so we don't want the pipes freezing. So we want to make sure we're at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius. Now, if we don't have an engine block heater in that diesel engine, then we got to make sure we've got a temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 degrees Celsius. Again, making sure that that diesel engine is at the proper temperature to be able to start and operate if it needs to. And then we're looking for things like the ventilation louvers. That's very important to make sure that we have combustion air coming in for the diesel engine, and that we're properly ventilating any of the vapors that come off of the engine itself. So ventilation louvers are key. Make sure that they're operating, making sure there's no excessive water on the floor, and looking to make sure that our coupling guards are in place. Now, if you scroll down here, this is an example of a diesel engine, a diesel-driven fire pump, horizontal split case in this situation. We've got the diesel engine back here, and there's a coupling here that connects the two, right? We want to make sure that those guards are in place as well. Now, that's the pump house inspection. Now we want to look at things on the pumping system itself as well. So we want to make sure that all the valves are in the proper position. The suction valve, discharge valve, and bypass valves all need to be open. So if we look down here, I've annotated, you can see I've annotated the numbers here. 1 being our suction valve, and 2 being our discharge valve. Suction valves, water coming into the pump. Discharge valves, water going out to, in this case, it's a sprinkler system. We've got a bypass valve that we could bypass the pump if there was an issue. Water would still be able to flow around. We want to make sure that's in the open position. There's actually 2 valves here that surround that check valve. And then we also have a test header that goes out to be able to do a performance test on the fire pump. We want to make sure that that valve is shut, so we're not pumping water out of the test header. There's actually 2 valves right here. We want to make sure they're both in the closed position. So then other items we want to, again, making sure we're free of leaks. And then we want to check our suction line pressure gauge and our discharge line pressure gauge. In this case here, number 6 is our suction pressure gauge, and 5 is our discharge pressure gauge. Now there's no set pressures in the standard. You just need to make sure they're in an acceptable range, so you're going to need to keep track of what those pressures are and make sure that they're not deviating. And again, this is all without the pump itself running, so you're just checking those to make sure that they're in an acceptable range. If you are pulling water out of a suction tank, we want to check the levels in those suction tanks. And then again, as I noted, testing that water flow, or making sure that water flow test connection valve is shut. Again, I'm not going over all the items, just some of the most common things to be looking at here. And then the last thing is to look at the diesel engine condition itself, right? So there's some key things to be looking at to make sure that that engine is going to be ready to operate and start and turn on if that pump is called to run. Make sure you've got at least 2/3 full of fuel. So if we look back here, there's a yellow fuel tank. On top of it, there's a fuel level indicator. We want to make sure we're at least at 2/3. We want to make sure that the controller selector is set to the auto position, meaning that if there's a sensed pressure drop, it'll automatically start. On the further to the left in this picture is actually the pump controller. So we would check that, make sure that's in the automatic position. We want to check the batteries, make sure that the readings are in the acceptable range as when it comes to charging current, voltage. We want to make sure we don't have any pilot lights on. That meaning the pilot lights are going to come on if there's a noticed issue with the fire pump. And we want to make sure that the battery electrolyte levels are correct and the battery terminals are all free from corrosion. You can't really see it, but they're back here. There's a bunch of batteries here. Those batteries are used to actually start the diesel engine. So obviously we want to make sure that those are proper. And then as with most all engines, right, we want to make sure our crankcase oil levels are all in the acceptable range and we've got the proper cooling water. So again, we're just making sure that that diesel engine is going to be ready to operate if it is called upon or the controller starts it, right? So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight on what inspections that we're doing specifically on a diesel fire pump. If you want to check out more things on NFPA LiNK, learn more about the notebooks, go to nfpa.org/link. You can learn everything you need to know about NFPA LiNK. You can get a 2-week trial and get in and actually build your own notebooks. I think it's a great way to put all the information, all the relevant information that you need in one spot to be able to reference it. You can also share these pages to anybody else, so it's a good way to share information as well. So I highly recommend checking that out. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight on diesel fire pump inspections. And as always, stay informed and stay safe.